Because if not, or if they don't pick out Rafaela, maybe they ban out Rafaela if you are RSG, because it is the perfect roam hero for the strategy of Blacklist International with the movement speed, the healing. But RSG, Bruno is a good option for them, but the Eman still has the Iksha.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Iksha, this could actually... Oh, speaking of Iksha, Iksha was picked right again. So RSG's actually, you know, they're doing your keys to victory, but in a different way. For them, RSG, what you said a while ago, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But for RSG, if it worked, don't break it. And I think they're sticking their game number 2 lineup, which led to a victory.
To Rizla and the Iksha, definitely one of those combos that you don't expect to work, but they actually work out together quite well. Because with a setup coming in with a penalty zone and you just give the full barrage, that's a lot of a shockingly amount of damage if you think about it. But it's not as shocking as I would say Eudora just landing a full combo on you, but it's still AoE damage that you have to respect. And with that, I feel like Vision and Info is mainly carried here by the Novaria going up to 6. But what else did you see? Or do you want to just go for the heroes out here, Chantel?
Probably the heroes first, because for RSG, I mean, the picks of our players isn't really from role to role, so we can't really differentiate with the current picks of our heroes. So yeah, it's gonna be a board ban here for Blacklist International. And RSG, it's either Rafaela or a Minotaur actually for the team, or maybe even Florine, more on the support heroes. But it's gonna be Minotaur, right? The more the sustain with crowd control. And this has been the pattern. Mostly if we reach game 3, majority of the teams actually secures Minotaur because of the sustain and crowd control. Now Blacklist International, we don't see RSG's burst yet, so why not focus on it first? So Valentina is out. Lilia could be actually for Aqua. If Novaria, it's nice to see Novaria and Savior match up just for the range and burst.
For me, RSG needs to go for a mid lane that can easily burst anyone, especially since Blacklist has a very mobile lineup. As we mentioned, that's Baksha, that's Paquito. They can easily slip away despite the crowd control potential of RSG. So if you're Aqua, yeah, a Savior, Lilia would be a better pick to make sure that you can able to control the clashes and burst down anyone.
We haven't seen Lilia for quite a while after its big boost in popularity last week. Now, I think it has died down for quite a bit. But Lilia could be a great pickup here for either sides, honestly, considering that this Novaria is still unsure to be either a roamer or a mid laner. But right now, for the side of RSG, they're still looking for a roamer. What are choices here?
Actually, Kadida is a good one, but yeah, it's gonna be a Lilia here. For RSG.
Hey.
Is that you?
Is that you?
That's me.
Is that Odin?
Is that your very own Odin?
Is that Auntie Anara? Oh wait, no. My bad.
That's Mimasaur
Mimasaur?
of Echo.
That's alright, you know what, Mimasaur is an awesome fan. It's always, I feel like I've always seen her around the community shows of MPL, especially when it's Echo around. So, you know what, now that I gotta say it, like a lot of Echo fans are quite passionate, but now 1-1 and Kufra for the last 2 picks of Blacklist International.
Renegade still wants to be called the Hitman. Sticking with the Kufra, this is a very glass cannon lineup for Blacklist. A lot relies heavily on OF's power spike. And with the current flow of the game number 2, RSG's playstyle is just too much for them to handle. So Blacklist, they really need to focus on their win condition, which is OHEM. They need to protect him and make sure this 1-1 reaches its power spike.
You know what, knowing that there is a 1-1 for Blacklist International, for RSG, the perfect tank as well for Light is... I was thinking of a Cho, but it is easily counted out, but it is going to be Kaja. So more than a single targeting, plus the damage for the Kaja.
This is not looking good for Blacklist International. 1-1 right now is, I would call in the middle of good and bad. And the Kaja directly counters this Kufra. We saw it yesterday. I'm not quite sure what series, but whenever the Kufra would jump, the Kaja would just go for the Divine Judgment and burst down the Kufra. It doesn't really make sense, but love the draft adjustments coming in from RSG.
So now looking at our draft index, the upper hand or the biggest factor that Blacklist will have against RSG is of course the vision because of the Novaria pick. But definitely for RSG, it's going to be the setup plays from Light. And we know Light is a great user of this Kaja. And even the Lilia with a burst. So we'll see with this game. Really looking forward on the itemization of this Lilia because I myself, as a Lilia user,
Wow.
The flex.
just sharing.
Yeah, Lilia's quite fun, honestly. My girlfriend loves Lilia too. Shout out
Just
to her.
flexing as well.
Yeah,
a lot
just
of flex
flexing,
here.
just
Another
another flex.
flex.
You know, we're doing verbal flexes, but these teams, they gotta flex their fingers right now because whoever wins Game 3 will win the series. Blacklist International will be running the 1-1. We haven't seen a lot of 1-1s lately. For the side of RSG, the rising marksman in the current meta, this Ixia will be their gold laner. It's game number 3 between these two squads. Which team will have the edge in the early game? What are your guesses?
Blacklist International, they already know the picks of RSG. They know that Light has the Kaja. So if you're Haji or if you're Blacklist, specifically Haji, a lot of pressure is onto you to provide that vision to make sure that they can't make any surprise plays. And now Renegade, easy expand on that flicker. But look at RSG's aggression. Aqua and Light brings down Renegade, but Edward, Agent Zero on the attack. He's gonna bring down Aqua.
1-for-1 trade up. It's XP lane getting a kill for the side of Blacklist. No, actually it goes to the Haji, which is still good. Having an early setup for this Novaria will quicken what she could do in the late game. But looking at the emblem build up here, a lot of movement speed on the side of RSG.
And on the same time, even 08.
Really engaged for Blacklist here onto Eman. Eman still has the upper hand though because reinforcements from RSG are here. And now Renegade caught in the middle of the fight, but Eren still wants to go right after Oheb. Renegade will fall down. Oheb survives.
Okay, that is control aggression.
Light is literally the light of RSG's life right now.
How do you even dodge that? You know, you can't. At this point, he was recalling. The lightning was already there. RSG ahead by 1,000 now. The early game pressure is really something that you gotta respect if you're Blacklist.
And they're not on yet.
Renegade.
I mean, a lot of pressure from RSG side. If I'm Blacklist International, what I don't want to do is be reactive. But if it is this fast, how will I not react, right?
Deja vu. Game number 1 vibes.
So for Blacklist International, all they need to do is to somehow help Oheb at the top lane. But the Sensui,
Oh, RSG not afraid to expend every single ult that they have on this jungler because there's a neutral objective up for taking, but Edward wants to answer right back. Not still alive. Edward's still alive, but RSG wants to focus on this turtle, but now Light in trouble? Nope. Everyone's still safe.
And this is how you want to play Lilia. Just go in for the early fights. You're one of the mages that could actually deal a lot of respectable damage early on in this part of the game. And RSG knows that. RSG knows that they have the damage, and now Sensui might just go down. Aqua, he's going to go for it, and Black Shoes out.
Let's bless the clutch. Black Shoes now.
Look at
Edward desperately trying to look for an answer from RSG's aggression.
a good thing for Blacklist International, Edward is really consistent, but all I gotta say, that is one micro move from Aqua just to secure a kill against Blacklist International. Went in for the kill and then Black Shoes.
Era still able to sustain everything, and that took a lot of time for Blacklist to bring down one member of RSG.
Well, at least one kill goes to the hands of Blacklist. That's their second kill of the game. Still almost a 2,000 gold lead for RSG. And we're just 3 minutes in, Chantel. What can they do? What can Blacklist do to slow this game down?
Definitely focus on switching the team fight area on Oheb's side, because right now the edge of Blacklist International is the movement speed from Edward. As to why majority of the skills, it was because of Edward's initiation as well, and those backups and even vision. So yep, just lean towards the other side of Edward and then focus on bringing Oheb the support needed against this Eman and Light combo.
RSG, they're slowing it down themselves. They're waiting for the next big objective here, or maybe just for the next big play. Top lane looks to be the objective. Retribution already used, and now Sensui might be in trouble.
Light has the flicker and Divine Judgment play, but RSG still not committing. They don't know that the members of Blacklist are still here. Haji with Astral Echo, and now onto Erad. And now look at that, crossbow stab will be casted, but Erad will able to sustain it. And now Aqua and the rest of members of RSG continuing to deal damage. And it looks like Oheb is going down.
Haji?
1-1 is out of the picture. Aqua wants to go right after the KDA machine. And Aqua cleans up the mess that Blacklist made.
3-1 and 2. This Lilia is looking to be a great pick for RSG.
You know what though? We said earlier that wait.
Edward, one more!
No way! Is he going to survive? But no, Light once again does the same thing in the top lane. Sensui wants to answer as well as Renegade, but RSG clean display of aggression.
Sensui, he might just be in trouble. The orbs are there, the shadow energy, but Black Shoes out. Renegade is trying to keep him in check. RSG is able to secure quite the kills up top, and they're gonna get the turret as well.
This performance of Aqua brings me back to the Aqua Season 9. He's one of those players that actually plays Lilia even if Lilia isn't part of the priority hero pool on the mages. So RSG is at the 3.2k gold lead, 3-1-3 for Aqua. All they need to do is just to clear the minion wave, and if ever they want to go and rotate to a specific lane from a Blacklist International, then they could do so. Now for Blacklist International, again, we've been mentioning time and time again that as long as Edward is able to do those split pushes and those backups against RSG's teamfight, then they have the potential to go for a counter push.
Yeah, now...
But they need to speed up the gold for 1-1 for Oheb.
Yeah, I agree. They really have to put gold in the gold laner's hands. Oheb here is the main carry for Blacklist, and the trend for a lot of the 1-1 compositions that we've seen in Season 12 of MPL Philippines is they always seem to lose early game, and then they try to extend the game to the part where it's a very close game, but that takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of patience. Can Blacklist actually survive the onslaught RSG is showing them in the earlier parts of the game?
It's going to be hard for Blacklist right now to extend the game, especially since RSG is just getting every single objective after objective. Orange buff taken down, bottom lane turret taken down, and I think they want to bring down Sensui here, as well as Edward. Edward, one more hit, but Renegade answers right back. But here comes Light with a Divine Judgment onto Renegade. Oh, man! Penalty zone for RSG, and now Blacklist. Oh, but there's Oheb with the crossbow attack. It's not going to be enough. No more damage so far for Blacklist. Now RSG successfully taking down the turret in the middle lane, and Renegade is gone.
Can I just say that both Nats and Renegade casted a skill both at the same time? Wait.
Yeah, both of them at the same time. Same great play, but results vary because RSG got the upper hand in that fight, and now the turtle will be spawning topside. RSG has the better position around it. It might just be uncontested. That's the third and final turtle of the game, and it's going to the hands of the Raiders.
It's just the 7 minutes. Too fast for RSG.
I like that you mentioned 7 minutes because game number 2 was 11 minutes and 22 seconds. So maybe in around 5 minutes, RSG can actually finish the game, especially since they know that Blacklist timer is in the late game.
Yeah, late game is definitely something that Blacklist wants to see, but the question remains, can they actually see it? Because RSG is not stopping.
And speaking of non-stop, we might see non-stop Divine Judgments from Light because of the fleeting time as well on the item. So 10-2 is our score. 6.4k lead and a seal.
Oh, Divine Judgment once again onto Edward. Edward, he won't be able to escape this. Now Iksha, you can already feel the damage, and now Renjay wants to answer right back. Bringing down Aqua, that's 1-for-1.
It's actually good.
Yep.
A 1-for-1 when you're behind by 6k is really good for Blacklist International. If they could get more free kills, that would be the goal for Blacklist. But for RSG, you kind of want to limit your errors. Play a bit safe, but you know safe's not in their dictionary right now. They're still going to stay in mid lane. They're going to get that turret, and they're going to leave.
RSG bringing down that middle lane turret. 8 minutes, 30 seconds in. RSG's turrets are still complete. And now Sensui wants to bring down a member from RSG. That's going to be Light. Light was able to escape. And now Blacklist desperately finding a way inside RSG.
Well, knowing that this is a scaling hero, I mean Haji's hero, there's a lot of potential for Blacklist International to do a comeback. But with the body movement of RSG, I believe that they won't allow, since time after time, they go to the jungle as much as possible, limit the resources of Blacklist International. Yeah, it is 4.9k. Wow, for OHEB, but look at that. For Eman, it's 7.5k. So you have the Corrosion side, you have a Demon Hunter sword, and even the Sea Halberd. So
Yeah.
you're just prepared just in case someone from Blacklist International that is or of a sustained hero to just shred that HP bars.
Underrated item, I would say. See, Halberd is quite cheap for what it offers.
Yep.
Both attack speed, damage, and that life drain passive is definitely something that an extra would want to use, considering that almost all of our stuff are AoE the moment that you go full barrage. So now that the Lord is up, XP lane for the side of Blacklist about to recall. Astral Echo used already, but sees no one. RSG will be starting this floor with Light and Aqua zoning around the jungle. Might just be free for the side of the Raiders.
Uncontested Lord take for RSG, but Renegade, they want to answer right back. Aqua, Black Shoes casted right away. Now RSG on the attack with a concealed play. Light has the Divine Judgment. Who is he going to find? He's not going to find yet anyone. And I think
He finds Oheb!
He finds Oheb, and now Oheb is down, as well as Renegade in exchange for Light's life.
That is quite unfortunate for the side of Blacklist. It was quite early for OHAB to go in the front lines. Yes, it was generally safe. You have like two people in front of you, but man, the patience from Light.
Yep, again, if you go back to the statistics, kill participation of Light is very low as compared to Renegade's. That is because as long as they're able to set up a play of the most crucial player, it's okay. As long as it is eliminated. Now the Lord is at the middle lane.
Lord marching in the middle lane. But look at Renegade right away.
Who's to get Evan?
Rage, that's going to be Evan. Down for RSG. No bonus turrets taken down for the Raiders. And now I think Blacklist, they are finally finding their groove.
I am honestly not quite sure why Emin was there. And Blacklist International, they were quick to snuff it out. And they do get a crucial kill, which rewards them with all three inhibitors still up there.
And this time around, Blacklist International, they have the opportunity to actually destroy a turret at the bottom lane. Now, look at the item for RSG. There is a blade armor already for Nats. And yeah, literally burst damage for Aqua with the Divine Glaive. So we might see our armor penetration, magic damage penetration rather, for the next item on Aqua. But yeah, it's 5-13, 11-minute game time. And
Edward, sneaky play.
yep,
Was able to avoid the rotation of RSG.
I think they're prepared though.
Yeah, they know. Edward knows that there's like 4 people out there. So down bottom lane, Nats might be tanking the brunt of the damage coming in from Blacklist International as they take down that turret down bot. They won't be able to take it down, but they were able to put in some chip damage. RSG still ahead by 5k, and a minute from now, Luminous Lord will be spawning. Blacklist International, they're slowly buying themselves time.
RSG going back to what worked for them a while ago, which is to steal objectives away from Blacklist, specifically away from Sensui. Purple buff has now been taken down, and I do believe the two junglers will meet here in this brush. But since they're utility junglers, nothing's going to happen so far, but RSG wants to bring down the turrets of Blacklist.
And as we wait for this Luminous Lord, Chantel, is it time for Blacklist to go for the, I would say, steal or a fight? Can they actually pull off a team fight against RSG?
For a team fight, they can, but for a team fight for the Lord still, it's not advisable because Sensu is still at level 13. If you look at Iraq, it's level 15. It might be a risk for them. But yeah, depending on the setup play from Renegade, okay.
Haji has a play there. Was able to hit Light. Now RSG on the retreat, but a concealed play coming in from Blacklist. Astral Echo is now casted, and the target is Irad. Irad trying to soak up every single damage. He's gonna go down.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh,
Emma,
wow.
with a free hit, Blacklist might be able to escape. Yes! Look at that! With a 5-man penalty zone, RSG got what they wanted.
And that is top 5 play material right there.
Yo, it's as if Eman is a varsity for a long jump, and that was a very, very nice setup play on the penalty zone. And in an instant, Light was just there again. He saw the potential. This might be the final push for RSG.
Two members defending for Blacklist, and now Light catches Edward off guard with the Divine Judgment. He's now going to go down. Haji is the one member left. Penalty zone to bring him down. And look at Ammon. Look at the Raiders bouncing back.
It's
not done. Oh,
Don't be
look at
this!
that.
Don't be this! It's not yet done! Everybody's losing their minds! Mr. Joe! No! Everybody's messing with the cameras too!
It's not yet done! Blacklist! There's no minions for RSG that moment! The circumstances were in the favor of the agents!
And the crowd is getting crazy. The crowd is getting crazy. There's time around for this one. Okay, it's a battle of the Lord. Everyone is here. Take note that Oheb has.
He's gonna take down Tsui.
Oh! Clutch Black Shoes was able to avoid Renegade, but RSG will secure this fourth Lord.
And now that the fourth Lord of the game, rather the second Lord of the game, goes to the hands of RSG, Chantel, can they actually end it this time? Can we actually give the cameramen the job that they need to do?
With the clearing of Bing and Wave, I think it's going to be difficult for Blacklist International. As long as they zone out Aqua, then they're fine. Because that is the zoning potential or the source of damage from the side of RSG Philippines. But they have the kit, right? Haji's here. I mean, the Tumbaria is here. They can, but it's difficult.
It is very difficult, but RSG, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the final push. Can they find the targets?
Sword bursted down right away for Blacklist side. RSG still looking for that initiation. That's going to be on Erad. And now look at Renegade. Haven't committed to Time's Race because Light with the Divine Judge. Renegade. And now Nats with a beautiful penalty zone to bring down Oheb as well. Two members left for the agents. Make it one. And now Edward will fall down, but RSG takes game number 3.
Reverse sweep completed for RSG. This winning moment is brought to you by your official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance. Man, Arena just went crazy for a bit there.
For the first time in my life, we saw 2 winning moments in one single match.
The camera angle just got confused. We saw a transition for a replay, and then I don't know anymore.
You know what? There should be a mic check. What happened in the comms? Like, I'm sure that's be hella entertaining. Everybody thought that RSG would have finished that game. The camera, all right. Scene number 1, they're about to win, and then no, it's not over. Scene 2, no scene 3, no scene 4. And suddenly it's chaos, but it's entertaining. That's what I love. Chaos is always entertaining. Now let's clap our hands for Blacklist International because they still gave us one hell of a show, especially in game number 1. And now we are seeing a 3-game series where the reverse sweep actually happened. RSG evening the score. Last time that they met, it was Blacklist who swept them. Now it's a reverse sweep.
And what's so nice between these two teams is that it is it was a 3-game series, and it was very close. It could have been a Blacklist International, it could have been RSG, but for RSG, we had a new discovery about them. It is not the usual RSG type of team that is more into the slow-paced ones. They are the Raiders for a reason because of this game.
You know, the past few weeks of FPL, I only